जय गुरु जी। गुरु जी की प्यारी संगत, गुरुजी का आश्रम जूम सत्संग में आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। संगत जी, आइए सत्संग की शुरुआत करते हैं और सत्संग के लिए इनवाइट करते हैं मनमोहन सिंह कुकरेजा अंकल को। अंकल, आप प्लीज आएं और गुरु जी का सत्संग शेयर करें।
जय गुरु जी। प्यारी संगत, अंकल ते आंटी, ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੜੇ ਲੱਕੀ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਹਾਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਆਗਿਆ ਦੇ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ। ਔਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਵੈਸੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਸક્ષਮ ਰੂਪ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਸੰਨ 2000 'ਚ। ਉਦੋਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਛਤਰਪੁਰ 'ਚ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਐਮਪਾਇਰ ਸਟੇਟ 'ਚ ਮੰਦਿਰ ਹੈ, ਛੋਟਾ ਮੰਦਿਰ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਉੱਥੇ ਬੈਠਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਉਦੋਂ ਸੰਗਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਪਰ ਧੀਰੇ ਧੀਰੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਵੱਧਦੀ ਗਈ। ਤਾਂ ਉਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇੰਟਰੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਇੱਕ ਸੀਗਾ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹਾਲੇ ਵੀ ਯਾਦ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਦ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਦ ਵੰਡਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਇੱਕ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਪਰਾਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਮਿਠਾਈ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਸੀ। ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਥ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਠਾਈ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੱਥ ਨਾਲ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਮਿਠਾਈ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੋ ਹੱਥਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਲੈਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਸੀ। ਔਰ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਵੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਹੋਵੇ, ਕਮਾਲ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਐਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਦ ਖਤਮ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਕਿ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਤੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੋ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਥ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਦ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਸਰੂਪ ਸੀਗਾ, ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਰੂਪ ਸੀਗਾ, ਮਤਲਬ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੈਠਦਾ ਸੀ ਸਭ ਬਸ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਮੈਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਿਆ ਸੰਨ 2001 ਵਿੱਚ। ਉਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ਿਮਲਾ ਪੋਸਟਡ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਮੇਰੀ 2001 ਕਿਉਂਕਿ 2000 'ਚ ਹੀ ਕਹਾਂਗਾ, ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ਿਮਲਾ 'ਚ ਪੋਸਟਡ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਇੱਕ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਸੀ ਦਿੱਲੀ 'ਚ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ਿਮਲਾ ਤੋਂ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਬਾਈ ਰੋਡ, ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਡਰਾਈਵ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਪੰਚਕੂਲਾ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਤੇ ਯੂਜੂਅਲੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬੰਨੀ ਲੰਬੀ ਡਰਾਈਵਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ, ਸਾਰਾ ਦਿਨ ਦੀ ਹੈਕਟਿਕ ਵਰਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੇਰੀ ਅੱਖ ਲੱਗ ਗਈ। ਤੇ ਮੇਰਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਬਾਕੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਏਸੀ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਹੈ, ਬਟ ਵੰਸ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਔਨ ਹਿਲਸ ਯੂਜੂਅਲੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਏਸੀ ਔਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ। ਤੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਸ਼ੀਸ਼ਾ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਅਨਕੌਂਸ਼ੀਅਸਲੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਬਾਜੂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਹੱਥ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਸ਼ੀਸ਼ੇ ਤੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸ਼ੀਸ਼ਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇੱਕਦਮ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੰਚਕੂਲਾ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਟਰੱਕ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਇਆ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਐਵੇਂ ਦਾ ਕੱਟਿਆ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੇ ਕਾਰ ਦਾ ਫਰੰਟ ਪੋਰਸ਼ਨ ਹਿੱਟ ਕੀਤਾ। ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬਾਜੂ ਸੀ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੈਂ ਰੱਖੀ ਹੋਈ ਸੀਗੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਖਿੜਕੀ ਤੇ, ਉਹ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲੀ ਤੇ ਟਰੱਕ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਆ ਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਲੱਗਾ। ਮੇਰੀ ਉਹ ਬਾਜੂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕ੍ਰਸ਼ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਮਤਲਬ ਦੀ ਬੋਨ ਵਾਜ਼, ਮਤਲਬ ਮੇਰਾ ਹੱਥ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਅਲੱਗ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਸਾਰਾ ਥੰਬਸ ਅਲੱਗ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਹੱਥ ਅਲੱਗ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਖੂਨ ਵਗਣਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। ਤੇ ਇਮੀਡੀਏਟਲੀ ਕਾਰ ਰੋਕੀ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲਿਆ ਤੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ, ਤੇ ਹਾਲੇ ਮੈਂ ਖੜਾ ਹੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਤੇ ਦੇਖੋ, ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਉਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ, ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਉਦੋਂ ਹੀ ਪਿੱਛੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਵੈਗਨ ਤੇ ਆਏ ਪਹਿਲੋਂ, ਤੇ ਵੈਨ ਸੀਗੀ, ਵੈਨ 'ਚ ਲੋਕ ਆਏ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਹੈਲਪ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਆਈ ਸੈਡ ਮੇਰੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬ੍ਰਦਰ ਇਨ ਲਾਅ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਤੇ ਪਲੱਸ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਇਮੀਡੀਏਟਲੀ ਅਗਰ ਹੋ ਸਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ ਲੈ ਜਾਓ। ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਅੱਛਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਵੀ ਅਨਕੌਂਸ਼ੀਅਸ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਚਲੋ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ। ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਟਰਾਈ ਕੀਤਾ, ਮੇਰੇ ਬ੍ਰਦਰ ਇਨ ਲਾਅ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਿਆ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਹੋਰ ਆਲਟਰਨੇਟ ਨੰਬਰ ਲਿਆ। ਬਟ ਐਨੀਵੇ, ਸਿੰਸ ਵੀ ਵਰ ਵੈਰੀ ਕਲੋਜ਼ ਟੂ ਪੰਚਕੂਲਾ, they took me to the hospital ਗਏ हॉस्पिटल वालियां ने इमीडिएटली देखा ते देयर फर्स्ट रिकमेंडेशन वाज कि द केस इज वेरी बैड एंड वी शुड इम्प्यूट राइट हैंड सीगा ते बट माई ब्रदर लॉ बाय द टाइम रीच देयर ते उन्होंने तो डॉक्टर ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਬਟ ਆਈ ਵਾਸ ਇਨ ਸੈਂਸਸ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਮੈਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਵੀ ਮਸਟ ਸੇ ਹਿਮ ਥੈਂਕਸ ਦਿਸ ਮਸਟ ਹੈਵ ਟੇਕਨ ਅਰਾਊਂਡ ਹਾਫ ਐਨ ਆਰ ਬਾय ਦ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੀ ਰੀਚ देयर ਤੇ ਉਹ ਮਨ ਛੱਡਿਆ ਬਟ when he saw that there was no one there and that person had I think ਜਿਵੇਂ he was sent as a sent for someone to help me only and then he was nowhere there. He left us there to the hospital and then left. But chalo, my brother-in-law, when he discussed with the doctors, he was that time he was DIG in Punjab Police, posted at Chandigarh. When he discussed with the doctor, he said that the only option is imputation, otherwise the things will spread into the body and it may be fatal. He did not agree to them. He said, okay, I'll check up with some other doctors also. He checked up with one or two doctors. Ultimately, he zeroed it down that we should rush to PGI. So I went to PGI. Dr. Negi, that time head of the department, who later on became the director PGI. He saw me that in this whole process, around 3 hours passed. But the doctors at Panchkula had done my first aid treatment so that the blood stops coming, profusing out. But then they did not treat anything else. So once I shifted to PGI, they also did the first aid again. And when Dr. Negi came, by that time it was already 4 hours from the accident. He saw me, he said, since now it's already 4 hours, and the only option is that we can try for the operation. If chances are that 85% it would be imputation only. But yes, we should not leave anything and we should try to see if something can be recovered. So he operated on me at after around 5 6 hours of that. And that operation took him around 7 to 8 hours. And then he, after the operation, then he said, okay, now we'll have to see it for next 72 hours. How does it operate? Works out. And luckily, even the doctor, he was surprised. How is it possible that even only after 24 hours, I could see that there is a movement in my fingers. So he was very surprised that it is too quick and early recovery because it takes usually takes much longer time than this. But then he was very happy. So he from next day he told a physiotherapist came and they started giving me some exercises. And slowly I started recovering. Then I went back to Shimla. Shimla also a good doctor. I was in the with a good doctor, a physiotherapist who had just come from US for some studies here. She was there for 1 year. So she started my treatment of physiotherapy. Then my brother-in-law, who was that time in Delhi, he called me. He told me that he has already talked to Guruji, and he says that he knows that he's fine, nothing to worry about. But you must come to seek his blessings. So I planned. I came to Delhi. I went to Chote Mandir along with him. So as soon as I bowed to Guruji, he said, "Sanduji aa gaye ho." Sanduji is a term for co-brother, basically. Sanduji aa gaye ho. मैंने कहा हाँ जी गुरुजी चलो अच्छा होएगा सब. So that was, I think, the biggest blessing I could get. And he said, okay, सामने बैठ जाओ. I just sat in front of him. Then once after everything happened, we had langar and then everything. Then we went to seek his permission to leave. He says, अच्छा सांडू जी तुसी काम करो, come this Thursday. along with a lota. That was his usual way of blessing. Come with a lota. So I went with a tumbler and to lota, Punjabi pittal da lota, Kenya, brass, copper da. I went with that to him. So I again bowed before him and he said, he asked me to sit in front. So I sat there where he ordered me. Once I was sitting there, but that was a time of miracle. I was sitting before him with so much of injuries to my hand and so much of damages to everything that literally you can well imagine my arm had 13 fractures. It was broken into 13 parts. That was the state of my arm. So he told me to sit in front of him. I was sitting in front of him. I cannot tell you in words what I felt at that time. He just looked at me, and then I started feeling that strength is coming back to my head. You can't believe that it is so strong that after so much of severe accident and so much of everything, I started feeling there is a lot of movement in my hand, and I have strength in my hand to move very strongly. So then he said, okay. Once we went to seek permission from him, he said, okay, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਲੋਟੇ pani piya karo every day and you will be fine. So after a week, 10 days of that, again I went to Guruji's Chote Mandir. There he said, uh, he was sitting to, when we went to take permission from him, he said, kal ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ Punjab ਚੱਲੋ. So we all went with him, me and my co-brother. We went with him to some places in Punjab where he had to go for some inauguration of a hospital, someone to for condolence of someone, plus his own satsang at somewhere. So 5, 6 places we visited along with Guruji. Earlier we had breakfast with him at Karnal Lake. So we came back by end of the day. And after that, uh, it took me around 1 month. And after 1 month, I was feeling a lot of strength in my house, my hand. So in the meantime, after I visited him, uh, my co-brother, he showed me to a doctor. So doctor said that I think we'll have to go for some major treatments. And but at that time also during my accident, doctor said that we'll be able to do lot of some recovery, but thumb will not be recovered. So thumb you'll have to have some special treatments because thumb by we find that is badly damaged. Anyway, whatever recovery could be done, we were of that basically at that state of mind that whatever is recovered, it is the blessings what we can get. So if you have nothing, you get something. So you find it as excellent. So I said, okay, that we will see it later. But when we went to this doctor, he said that okay, he'll try to. He had actually come from US. He had also come from US for some courses here, and he was head of department at that time at Batra Hospital, but for Okla. Uh, when I showed him my hand, I showed him my thumb. He says, I don't know. I cannot say that how it will uh, look wise, but I can only see that you have blessings that your hand, some where it is getting attached. I think that is one of the best places it could get attached. So what he did the very first day, he put, as you feel that carpenter is doing, so orthopedics are also a part of that type of that. So he fixed up a lot of 2, 3 nails on my thumb so that it should not move. Because he said, I think this is one of the best places it is getting attached to, and we should ensure that it gets here only so that it starts functioning. All this happened. He took some bone from my thigh and then did some grafting and then put a rod in my arm. And uh, But I was feeling it is much better because things were recovering. I had movement of my fingers. I was doing it, and the best part was that I was not dependent on anyone. Even I was able to tie my own turban with left hand. I did started doing a lot of things with my left hand, and after gap of around 1 year, 3 months of my regular physiotherapy, visit to Guruji's temple and his blessings. After 1.5 year, my everything was perfect. Now my hand is perfect to the extent of 95%. I think, which is a very big number, 95%. Only I have some problems while I just take some finer movement, because those finer movements or the strength in hand is not that much. But otherwise, if someone is not looking at me in that way, they don't feel that they will not be able to observe that I have some deficiency in my hand. So I say it as 95% is recovery, which is, I think, very, very high percentage. Even I can say 95 to 97% also, because that deficiency that I have of very, very finer movements of hand, which I'm not able to do. So this all happened with his blessings. After that, staying for 3 years in Shimla, I got transferred to Jaipur. I think that is, but since once you get attached to Guruji, you're always attached to him. So I was traveling from Ajmer to Jaipur back at night. So usually, since your day is very hectic, you are sitting on the back seat, driver is driving. So I was sleeping. Basically, I was sleeping, matlab, uh, not knowing, but all of a sudden, my driver applied the brakes and I got up. I said, क्या हुआ? He said, सर आप ही ने तो चीख मार के बोला मुझे रुक जाओ. मैंने कहा मैंने बोला? कहता हाँ जी सर. मैंने कहा अच्छा मैंने तो नहीं बोला. चलो एनीवे, सिंस आई नेवर वांटेड टू मेक ए सीन आउट ऑफ इट, आई सेड ओके, चलो चलो फिर. मैंने कहा आपने इतनी जोर से ब्रेक मारी, चोट भी लग सकते हैं, पर सर आपने इतनी जोर से चीख मारी तो मेरे को रुकना पड़ा. मैंने कहा अच्छा चलो. बट एज सुन एज वी स्टार्टेड, वी वर सरप्राइज्ड. आई वाज रियली सरप्राइज्ड. इट वाज अ टर्न, एंड just at the turn, there was a truck which had rods coming out of it. एक सरिये द ट्रक होता ना बड़ा वाला. ओ, देन ड्राइवर सेड सर आपने अगर चीख नहीं मारी होती, हम नहीं रुके होते, तो व्हाट वुड हैव हैपेंड? इट वाज ए deep cut, and it was a basically blind cut, and a truck is there just 30 meters ahead of it. So that is what is Guruji's blessing is. Guruji is always there to protect his disciples and do the best for him. I really feel that those who are in as a Guruji Sangat, they are always blessed. Then I one day I have lot of satsangs. I like to share only few of them. Uh, when I went to Bombay, then I was from Jaipur. I came to Delhi, then Agra, then 2014 I was posted to Mumbai. Now we call it Mumbai. So when I went there, I checked up with uh, through my contacts in Delhi that if someone knows someone in Mumbai. So I was given a reference. I called him, Bharat uncle. That time Nidika auntie and Bharat uncle. So they said कि हमारे ही घर में सत्संग है next Saturday. चलो, I went to their house and there was satsang. So when people came to know that I'm an old sangat, I really feel that people give you so much of importance, so much of love, that that we have that blessing that we have met Guruji for Guruji, that they then asked me to share my satsang, and then I just made one request, or I can say it was just question came to me. See, I said I've been very blessed by Guruji that where I've been posted till date after that incident, I always had Guruji's Mandir there. I was in Jalandhar, then I went to Agra. Agra, when I joined, there was no Mandir, but within my posting to Agra in 2007, I think 2008, we had a very, I think one of the good mandirs of Guruji Nagra. It was in, I think, gold craft, in a society. It was a 4-bedroom house which Mr. Bhatia uncle had made that flat as Guruji's Mandir. And from Agra, then I came to Delhi where we already had this. And then from Delhi, I was posted to Bombay. I said that where I've been there, I've always been blessed that there has been a Guruji's Mandir there. So I just made a simple narration, that's all. But my wish was that there should be a temple in Mandir, Guru. This. So after 3-4 months, when we had the annual Mumbai function, uh, then Gaurav uncle was there in that function. And after this satsang, then he said that he like to break a very big news that they have already made a Guruji's Mandir in Mumbai. In I don't remember the name now, but it was in Mumbai. They have made a new mandir, and tomorrow is the inauguration of that mandir. So you can see that any desire that you have and any desire that you put up to Guruji, he is always there to help you. So we all went to Guruji's temple, and I've been very, very blessed that my daughter, she was a part of the aunties who had given the duty to do the first Guruji, all preparations before the uh, satsang starts, a part of the decoration of the mandir and all this. She was a lot of attached to it. And when she got engaged and she was to go to get married, Vivek uncle, he called her and he took her to the Guruji's room. She was offered a dupatta or what Guruji used to take her, and then a carpet of his room. So a lot of blessings from Gurujis were given to her. And then uh, what happened was that I was in one of that functions, annual function. Then Gaurav uncle was there. So Gaurav uncle once told me that, "Hor uncle ji, tada dil lag gaya." मैं क्या अंकल दिल्ली वाले का कितने दिल लगता है मुंबई तो मैं क्या देखो हूँ नैत की आई हैव ऑलरेडी कंप्लीटेड माय 3 year tenures in Mumbai. I'm just looking forward for my posting back to Delhi. ते कहते अच्छा मैं क्या हूँ देखो मेरी प्रमोशन वीडियो है दैट आई एम होपिंग दैट आई माइट requesting for a posting to Delhi. So Gaurav uncle said, Roshan uncle, लिख लो मनमोहन अंकल दिल्ली आ रहे हैं GM बन के. That was a one sentence that Mr. Gaurav uncle said, and that was the time around December end, and our usually posting orders come in the first week of February. And whatever he said, I think that was the Guruji's word from his mouth. I got my transfer orders in the first week of February. I was promoted and posted to Delhi. So those are everyday things that I get. Guruji the Nal, Rayan Nal, Guruji the Blessings Nal. But these are few things, but there are very, very small things also during the day of course of the day that आप गुरुजी से मांगते हो आपकी कोई चीज नहीं मिलती तो आप गुरुजी का ध्यान करते हो चीज मिल जाती है. So all these things they add up to your devotion to Guruji, you feel that his powers, because I have been meeting Guruji and I have seen him and I have seen the strength that he has, the positivity that he inculcates in you. It's like too much. I feel that I am really blessed to be a part of you all as Guruji Sangat, and you are also all blessed that you are Guruji Sangat, and Guruji has given you, has permitted you to join his Sangat. Jai Guruji.